Hello students, let's start with again continuation of chapter number 3. In today's lecture we are going to learn the topic encapsulation and exception handling. So what do you mean by encapsulation? Encapsulation in that we are having one word, that is capsule. So capsule means we are adding something under the same we can say that cover. As we have seen the medicines, we are having capsules. So within a plastic coating we are having all the ingredients. Okay, so similarly if we consider the same capsule in a programming language, so it means that whatever variables we are needed or whatever methods we are needed, so we never write variables somewhere else or the method somewhere else and the calling portion somewhere else. On single file or within a same class we will be having variable declaration, variable initialization, after that method declaration, definition. All the things are encapsulated or cover under a single class. So that is called as encapsulation, that is wrapping of data into a single unit. We never use like we have seen the partial class or methods. So what was the case there? We write some code of the same class in one file, remaining code in the other class, and again we are having third file just to merge that particular code and execute it, right? So that we never called it as a encapsulation. Encapsulation means we are having max to max two classes. Just consider one class is definitely for void main, in which we will create the object of other class and we will call the respective method or initialize the variable, right? And the first class which contains the actual data. So encapsulation is nothing but wrapping of data into a single unit. Means in a single class we declare the variable, we initialize the variable, then we declare the methods, define its content, and in other class we will create an object of a specific class and call all the variables and methods. So that is called as encapsulation. So basically encapsulation contains the properties and methods. That is different attributes are there. Attributes are nothing but the variables which are present. So the program I have given, we have seen the property topic. So in that we make use of get and set method. So the same program we are going to perform here. That is, I have created one class, that is class student, which contains three variables: ID, name and email. And I want to take value of ID, name and email with the help of property, okay, from the user. So this much code is there in class student. After that I am having one more class under same namespace. If you notice, the namespace of both the program is same. In that class program I have created, in that we are having public static void main. After that we will create object of student class, okay, by writing student equal to new student, okay. Then we want to set all the values of three variables, that is ID, name, email. So for the same I have written the object name dot variable name. So what is our object name? Student, but all the letters which are present in the object are small, and all the letters, if you consider, if you see the first class of your of our class name, the only S is capital, other are small letters. So both are different. It's not the case that object name and class name can be same. It is not possible. It should be different. So student.id, then we have initialized the id to 101. After that student.name we are having, again we have initialized it. After that we are having student.email, again we have initialized the email address, okay. So this is nothing but setting the values. We have set, we have assigned these values to the specific respective variables. After that, getting the values means displaying the value. So with the help of console.writeline we will display the id, all the three variables, but with the help of object name. So while displaying we make use of student id, student name, student.email. So like that only we will display. So here we are having a single class in which we are getting the values from the user and setting the values by making use of setter and getter methods, okay, for each and every variables. So this is encapsulation. In simple words, encapsulation means wrapping of data into a single unit. For that you can give example of class which contains variable initialization, methods, method definition, object creation. All such things are present inside a single class. Means all these data we are wrapping inside single unit. Now we are going to start with the topic that is exception handling, which is a very important topic in all programming languages. Whenever there is object oriented programming, definitely this topic is there, exception handling. So exception means what? Exception means we can say that errors, or actually instead of error we can say that these are the unexpected conditions which sometimes we already analyze that this type of error may occur, but sometimes what happen, the runtime error or any logical error occurs. So to handle such type of error, we are having this topic, exception handling. And what is the advantage of exception handling? Normally this is not the case. If we are writing 10 lines of program, then all the 10 lines contain error. The error can be at single line, but because of which the lines which are present after that error line will not get executed. So if you don't want that, even there is an error, the system should show, or the system should throw particular error, and the remaining code which is not having error should be executed smoothly. So for that purpose we are having exception handling topic. So because of exception, normally it maintains the normal flow of application. It only gives the error wherever or in any line if there is an error, and the other program will be normal. To handle the exception in C Sharp, we make use of 4 keywords or 4 blocks, we can say, that is try, catch, finally, throw. So whenever you will be having question on exception handling, you have to specify these 4 terms, that is try, catch, finally and throw, because they are related to, or they are specially designed for exception handling purpose only. So now we are going to start with the try and catch statement. Basically I am just telling you in simple words, the try block, or we can say that the code which will create the exception, that we will add inside the try block, and after try block there should be immediate catch block to handle the error which can be, or which will be thrown by the try block. So this much is there, that is try block is contains the code which may create exception, and in catch session we will basically catch the particular exception which is thrown by the try block and handle that particular exception. So this is the use of these 2 blocks, try and catch. Before starting with the actual implementation of try and catch block, I have just given one example. Just see the class exception example. For that purpose I have created this class. This is the reason why I have given the name as ex example. Inside that again we are having public static void main method. In public static void main I have declared 3 variables, a, b, x. A I have initialized to 10, value of a is 10, value of b is 0, and in x I just want to store the calculation of a divided by b. So here I just want to tell you that in normal programming language, or in anywhere, in any programming language, when we try to divide a particular number by 0, then it gives us error, or in simple words we can say that it gives us exception, that is divide by 0. We never divide any variable by 0. So when we are trying to do so, now I have deliberately taking b equal to 0, but sometimes what happened, we perform some calculation, and if the previous calculation results into 0, and if we are dividing that value, or we are using that particular value for division, so definitely there will be error. So after writing this program we will get error message which is shown in the slide, that is unhandled exception and system.divide by 0 exception. By default system will give you this exception, that is divide by 0. So if you don't want that such type of error, or if there is any error, but if there is code after present from after that line, that is x equal to a divided by b, there is one line of code, that is rest of the code. Even though there is error in one line, that is int x equal to a divided by b, this line contains error, right? But still the next line which is not having any error, which is not executed, right? So to handle such thing we are having the concept of exception handling. So just now as I said, If you feel that this particular error will create exception, then just write down that particular error inside try block. So just see the example. The three lines, that is initialization of a and b variable and the calculation x equal to a divided by b, that we have written in try block. And after closing try block, immediately we should have catch to handle the exception which is thrown by the try block. So catch into round bracket, it is compulsory that all the exceptions which are present in C# that comes under single class, that is exception class. So we have to make use of object of exception class in a catch block. So in catch, just write down within parenthesis exception E, and then curly brackets, just display console.writeLine E, or in place of E within double quotes whatever message you want. That is again possible. So because of this, what will happen? Now we have error, that is x equal to a by b, because we cannot divide any number by 0. So there is an exception. If you see the output, the first line of output is nothing but the exception which is thrown by the system. That is, we have displayed now console.writeLine E. So that E is nothing but system.divide by 0 exception, attempted divide by 0. But after that, if you see the last line of your output, rest of the code, means even though there is an exception in your program, the respective error message is displayed on the screen, and the remaining code which is present after the catch block is smoothly or normally executing, which we want, because there is no fault of console.writeLine rest of the code statement, because it is not having any error. But because of exception, as we have seen in previous example, this particular part is not going to get executed. So because of exception handling, this is possible. So that advantage we have seen, that is, it maintains the flow of execution. Okay, if there is an error, just display that error and then continue with the remaining code, continue with the execution of the remaining code. Again, I have given some information about try and catch block, which we have discussed before some time. There is a syntax, that is, we should have try block, after try block we should write catch, and after catch we will be having finally. Okay, and it is not necessary that sometimes we make use of only try and catch, like we did in this example. Sometimes we can have try and finally. Finally we cannot write anywhere else. This actually finally keyword was there in Java also. I hope you know that. So finally block can be used along with the try, means we in the program we can have try and finally. Okay, this combination is there, or we can have try catch finally. But try is compulsory for catch and finally. We cannot use catch and finally block in single handed. We should have try. After try only we can add these blocks. After that, again finally block. Basically, if there is exception in your program, but whatever code you have written in finally block, that is going to get executed even though there is exception or exception is not there. So basically finally block is used along with the try one. But as now in in previous program, what we have did, that is, we are having try block, after that we have catch block, and after catch now we are making use of finally. And suppose if you have not handled the exception, means if the catch is not present, even though also the code which is written inside finally block is going to get executed. So finally block is a kind of block which will get executed even though the exception is handled or not handled. If we are making use of catch, or if the catch block is not there, still the code which is inside the final block is going to get executed, but outside code will not be executed. But now in this example we make use of catch along with the finally, so definitely the code inside the finally is also executed, and the outside the finally, that is rest of the code, that statement also we got as an answer. So just remember one point, that is finally block is a block if you want some statements to be executed anyhow, even though there is a error, exception, or even there is not exception. In both the situation we should want we want some line to be executed. So in that situation we can make use of finally. But just remember one point, finally is used along with try block only. Without try we will not make use of finally block. So this is finally block. After that we are having multiple catch block. So multiple catch block means it's not necessary that after try block we can have only single catch block. We can have multiple catch block. Sometimes what happened during the program, we write some code according to us which will create the exception inside try block, but we have not confirmed about which type of error it can show. There are so many inbuilt exception or exceptions available under the exception class of C#. So if you don't have any exact idea about which type of exception will occur because of this particular sentence or line which is present in the program, so in that situation you can make use of multiple catch. So whatever error is occur, according to that error the specific catch block will be executed. So now in this example, if you notice, I have taken one number. First we are having program class. In program class we are having static void main method. The first line we are taking one number from the user, okay, and then I have stored the value of that particular number inside num variable. So taking the value from the user or actual logic is inside the try block, okay. In try block what we have calculated, we have tried to divide the 100 value by the number which we have entered, and then we have stored the result of the same in result variable by writing int result equal to 100 divided by num, okay, and then we will display the result, what the answer we will get or what the output we will get. After try block we are having catch. So this program, if I am entering the number as 0, it can create exception. If I am entering the number as minus, then again we will get some error. So now in this case, or we can enter a string as a value, that is if I have entered a, so that is a character, and we cannot divide any number by the character. So many wrong inputs can be entered by the user. So it can be any type of exception. If user is entering 0, means it is divide by 0 exception, but it's not compulsory that the user will enter 0 only. So this is the reason why we are having different catch. Just see the first catch. In that I have written divide by 0 exception, means if this particular calculation is generating divide by 0 exception, then the console.writeLine statement which is present inside this catch block which is having divide by 0 exception will get executed. After that again I am having one more catch, that is invalid operation exception, okay. So that I have given invalid operation exception. After that, suppose format exception, like we have entered character, so that can comes under format exception, or if we are entering the floating value like that, so it can gives us format exception, that is the value which we have entered that is not in the proper format of if you have entered the special characters, so that is again comes under format exception. So here we are not having exact idea, that is the program will create which type of exception, then in that case we can make use of catch, and according to the exception the compiler will take the program. And if there is no divide by 0 exception, if there is no invalid operation exception, if there is no format exception, then the last catch block which we have written, that is exception class, that is error occur, please try again, this will get executed if our exception is not matched with any one of 3 exceptions. So that is we can make use of multiple catch along with the try. After that, now whatever exception we have seen, that they are actually by default exception, inbuilt exception we can say that, where we can make use of exception class, divide by 0 exception. So all these are inbuilt exception. But suppose if you want to create your own exception, means in previous exception what happened, we have not designed that if user is trying to divide a particular number by 0 then throw the error. It is by default given by the compiler, right, this type of exception. But if you want to have your customized exception, for example in this program the exception is for just to check that if the user is entering the value above 18, means that particular user is available or eligible for the voting, right. So regarding the same we want to create customized exception, that is if user is creating the age which is less than 18, then we want to show the error message as sorry, age must be greater than 18. invalid age exception, sorry, age must be greater than 18. Like in previous program inbuilt, we are having system exception, then colon, attempted divide by 0. Like that we got the error message. So similarly here what we want the exception as, if user enter the value which is value of age variable which is less than 18, then we should display the error message as invalid age exception, and then after that we want message as sorry, age must be greater than 18, and after that the remaining code should be executed smoothly. So this is customized exception. Okay, so if you want to create customized exception, so again that is possible in C#. So just see the example. First, the invalid age exception, which message we got in the output window, right? So that invalid age exception is nothing but the class. Okay, so we have to first create exception class which inherits exception class, because all the exceptions should comes under exception class only, and this is the reason why we have created class invalid age exception, okay, which inherits exception. So for the same purpose we have written colon exception, and in this class invalid age exception class we have created constructor. So constructor means the same name as a class name, so just public, after that class name was class name is invalid age exception, so that we have written invalid age exception into round bracket. Exception normally it is a message which we want to display, that is sorry, age must be greater than 18. This message we want to display, and this is the reason why for this exception class constructor we have passed the parameter as string message, and after that colon base into round bracket message. Base message means normally the exception is created in some other class, okay, where we will take the value from the user, in which we are going to call this class exception, right? So this is the reason why whatever value we have entered, that should be provided to the base, that is to the parent one. So base into round bracket message we have written, and then just don't write anything, because the message we are going to display in the class where we want to where we are taking the value, we want customized message. So this is the reason why I have just kept the curly brackets of this invalid age exception constructor blank, and then close the invalid age exception class. After that create one more class, okay, that is test user define exception. This is name of my class. Now in this class I have created one function, okay, which is parameterized function. The name of the function is validate, and the parameter is integer value int 8 age. After that we have written the if condition, that is age less than 18. So when the age is less than 18 we want to throw exception, right? So for the same purpose what I have written, just make use of throw keyword. After throw create the object of the exception class. So for the same, after throw we have written new, and then invalid age exception. This is the name of our exception class, customized class, and into round bracket within double quotes I have specified the message as sorry, age must be greater than 18, and then just close the if block and then close the validate. I hope this is clear to you. This is the validate function in which we have thrown the exception. So this function we will call inside the try block, just to show the error message and also provide the value. So in validate, this is validation, that is it will create this method will create the exception, okay. So I hope this is clear to all. So basically if the age less than 18, after that whatever line we have written, that is nothing but the customized exception, okay. So just make use of throw keyword, then create the object of your exception class, that is new invalid age exception, and then it is, now we have created the object, and this class contains constructor. So this is the reason why after the object creation of invalid age exception into round bracket we have provided the string, because the constructor of invalid age exception class contains string message as a parameter. If you are going to provide the integer value, it will definitely give you error message, because we want the value of string, and this is the reason why we have provided the message within double quotes. So double quotes means it is a string. After that within public static void main we have used try block. within try block we call validate function, to which we will provide the value. So now in this case, validate into round bracket 12 means the value of age is 12, okay, which is manually provided by me. So after that, the validate we will call it, the control will go to validate function, okay, age value is 12, then the comparison will take place 12 less than 18, okay, the condition is true, and if the condition is true, what happened? Exception. So this exception will be thrown by the try block, by the function, then it is again catched by the catch block, and catch block will give you the message console.writeline e. So that e is nothing but the message which is thrown by the constructor of invalid age exception, that is, sorry, age must be greater than 18, and that message is displayed, and then we are going to continue with the execution of remaining code, that is, rest of the code is executed. So this is customized exception, it is not inbuilt exception, okay. So this is called as user defined exception only. So customized means according to our need we are creating the exceptions. After that, the last topic of exception handling is, as we have seen, in catch block we make use of divide by 0. After that, we make use of format exception. So many exception classes are actually available. You will get the answer of this question from set publication. It is properly given, the exceptions. But other than that, I have added some exception like divide by 0 exception. When we try to divide a particular number by 0, in that situation this exception occur. After that, null reference exception. This error is generated by referencing the null object, means if we have declared the variable as a comma b comma sum, and suppose we have written a equal to 10, and then I have directly written sum equal to a plus b, but now we have initialized only a variable, b value is not set, so b is nothing but null. So now while doing this calculation sum equal to a plus b, we are referring the null reference, means the b is not having any value, okay. So that type of exception we can call as null reference exception. Invalid cast exception, that is casting if we are performing in wrong manner, that is totally related to type conversion. Type casting is there when we try to convert from one type to another. That type, if something is missing, then invalid catch exception. After that, IO exception, that is input output exception, and last one is system field access exception, that is private and protected keyword, whatever we have used, in that we are getting the exception. So this much is there in today's lecture. Thank you very much. Somebody is there at my door.